This is Dr. Carmen Smith. I'm a spiritual teacher and author of the book, The I Am Solution. I'm also a mental health therapist. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is my new series. I'm going to call it, That Is Way Out There. In other words, I'm going to be talking about some things that may seem really foreign to some people, and to others it might be real familiar, especially if you're a student of metaphysics or any type of spirituality. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is the human hamster wheel. I developed this and wrote about it in my book, The I Am Solution, but basically I came up with it in the 90s when I saw how people take their own issues, and because of their feelings and their feelings of anger, their feelings of sadness, guilt, and shame, they go through life creating events that evoke the same emotions. Even though they don't want that certain situation to happen, they don't realize that they're creating it based on their thinking and their feeling state. So how I envisioned it, and by the way, when I was growing up, I always saw concepts visually. So when people are talking to me, I always have a visual image of what they're saying. And so when I see emotions and I see events, I saw them as the human hamster wheel. For example, you were creating energy in our everyday life. Our energy is based on the feelings that we have about a particular event. So when we have anger, disappointment, shame, and guilt towards an event, we will create the same vibrational events in our life over and over again until we realize what we're creating and we choose a different thought, a different perception, and most of all, a different feeling. So I'll give you an example. Say, for example, you're faced with a prejudiced person and they reject you based on your ethnicity or your religion or, say, the color of your skin. This has happened to me growing up in the United States as a black woman. Now, one of the things that I could be is angry, vengeful. If I chose those emotions, I would create in my life different events where I would feel rejected and I would have the same emotional energy of feeling anger, shame, and possibly have an action of revenge. And it would dictate certain aspects of my life. It would actually box me in to a certain category, and I would be limited because of my beliefs, my anger, and all of that stuff. And I would be creating events that would limit me. But let's take the same situation of someone rejecting me totally because of the color of my skin. And instead, instead of anger, I chose love instead. Now, most people would say, what are you talking about? If somebody rejects me and doesn't want me, I'm certainly not going to show them love and affection. But that's exactly how you create another realm of reality. That's exactly how you create another dimension. And this dimension will give you back exactly what you gave. So if you gave love and affection and caring and a oneness, you saw that person as just a version of yourself, you're going to create in your life where you walk in another dimension that is outside of chaos. Because most people don't realize that when you're on the human hamster wheel and you're feeling that anger, shame, guilt, and all those things that we talked about, your life is creating like a chaos event where your feelings are creating the chaos you experience. Those negative feelings are creating the exact reality that you're facing. But when you're going through love and experiencing love and giving love, when people don't deserve it, you will be walking on heaven on earth, or as Moses said, the promised land. Now that can be way out there for some, but mathematically this makes sense that we can create chaos. I want to show you the double-hinged chaos theory. It's sort of like the human hamster wheel. In other words, it can go in all kinds of directions, but the directions that it goes is based on the energy that you're putting out there. And only when you're coming from that anger, guilt, and shame are you going to create the chaos in your life. It's an energetic principle. Mathematically, can be teased out that this is actual reality. When we know what we're creating, then we can create something else. And what you can create from compassion, gratitude, love, acceptance, and trust, and having a giving spirit, is you create a realm of reality that is bigger than anything you can ever imagine, that is full of abundance, that is full of everything that you're giving, you will be receiving. That is just how the universe works. Now, I know that may be way out there for some, but the only way that you can prove me wrong or right is to try it. This is Dr. Carmen Smith, and I'll see you next time in the series that is way out there.